Why hello everyone, Spencer here, also known as LEGO Dude 11, and in today's video, this is my Super Mario Bros. Official spoiler review, so without further ado, let's discuss. Okay, so without further ado, as I mentioned, this is my spoiler review for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and a couple things I want to mention right off the bat here. Housekeeping for you. I am doing this a couple weeks after the movies come out, a week or so after the movies come out. I saw this on the 15th of April instead of the 5th. I would have seen it. It came out the 5th. It came out on a Wednesday. They pushed it up, and I was like, oh, great, I'll see it early. And my friends, it was the weekend of Easter, so I'm like, oh, we'll go that weekend. I tried to go to the release weekend. We didn't. I'm scratching my nose a bunch, excuse me. And then because of that, we went then the weekend after because it was Easter, so I'm like, whatever. I'll watch it. There wasn't much to spoil here, and also because it's called a spoiler review, I'm just calling it a spoiler review because there's more in it that I'm going to talk about. So if you don't want to hear anything about the movie, get out now. Another thing about my housekeeping, I have a card up there. I'm going to put a card up there. You can go watch our vlog of the movie. It's a little bit shorter than normal. Like, we talked a little bit. I tried to get our thoughts in. My friend had to leave quickly, but we tried to grab our thoughts in there. Also put his thoughts about John Wick in there. And just so many things. I love talking about movies and stuff. So there's stuff in this review I want to be more specific about and upfront about in this video. Because after we talked about the movie, there are some thoughts I gave to them that I was like, wait a minute. Why did I say this? I wasn't lying to them, but anyway, I want to make that up front. So, yes, this is why it's a little bit late. I apologize. I try to see these movies release weekend, whatnot. So, maybe when I'm in college, I'll have to figure that out and tell you guys, like, why if I don't see a movie release weekend. But other than that, let's get to the review. I'm skipping my thoughts. Alright, so the first thing I have here, I did take out my notes of the movie. The score of this movie, of the Mario movie. By the way, I want to let you guys know, when me and my friends talked about this movie, I had a great time with my friends at this movie. You know, when I went with two of my friends now, and my one friend Michael, who I went and saw Quantumania with, he said, or when we saw Quantumania together, my best friend, he was just not enjoying. It was not his type of movie. Well, not just his type of movie. He just did not enjoy Quantumania. It was not his jam. On the other hand, I like Quantumania, but on a different level. As an Ant-Man movie, it was kind of eh. As a Marvel movie, like for the beginning of Phase 5 with the Kang Dynasty and all this, I liked it. It didn't have... Some character things were eh, but I'm not here to focus on Ant-Man. Here to talk about Mario, but we loved the Mario movie. All three of us did in my friend group. The animation's great. I'm skipping ahead here, but we just had a great time with this because my one friend was like, oh, the Illumination Studios is all over the place. Like, it's kind of a garbage franchise except for Despicable Me. I love all three Despicable Me movies because they all have something about them that's unique and fresh. The Minions movies, I don't want to be too like rantive here, but the Minions movies, the first one I like more than the second one. And I could make a whole rant video on that in another video. But this movie is perfect because it has that nostalgia factor to it. It is Mario. Nintendo paired up with Illumination and made one of the best Illumination movies out there. Except for Despicable Me, because rewatching that first Despicable Me is a classic. It's the first one they made. And the Dr. Seuss movies are kind of mediocre, right? The Sing movies and Secret Life of Pets are kind of cute, but they're kind of okay. I mean, the Sing movies, if you like singing, they're good. If you like the Secret Life of Pets because the pets, they're good, but the stories are kind of iffy. The first Secret Life of Pets, it takes the detour of not really the secret life. But this one is a classic Nintendo pairing up with the Illumination animation, putting them together, boom, you got a movie right, you got a banger movie right there. And then and everything hits. Some of it does, and the critics have put it out there. Like, if you're considering me a critic, wannabe critic, I am on the minority because I love it. I'm with the audience side, and I think the critics should be higher because you're not basing this movie off of it's Shakespeare writing. It's Shakespeare everything. But the creativity's there. I love what they did with this movie. The score, in particular, with Brian Tyler and Koji Kondo. Koji Kondo did the original Nintendo themes, and you have Brian Tyler doing the soundtrack, the score for this. It's beautifully done. The pairing it got here. I don't really know anybody else that could have done this score better. I mean, Brian Tyler, listening to his other stuff that he's done, off the top of my head, he's done some Marvel stuff and some other, I think, action movies, maybe some animated films here and there, but I don't remember what specifically. Because he paired up with, I think, an Iron Man 3 and, like, the Avengers, like, Brian Tyler and Danny Elfman did Age of Ultron together, so that's pretty cool. But other than that, the Nintendo themes in here, like the underground theme, the overland theme, like the overworld theme, and the main theme together, the medley they have at the end, everything works. And even the songs they include, the Peaches song that's eligible for an Oscar, is awesome. I love that song. It's so good. Singing along to it in the movie theater, I didn't sing along to it, but like just knowing the song before going into the theater was awesome to hear. It's just awesome. I keep saying the word awesome, but it really is awesome. I just love this nostalgia. And the songs, I told my friend, I think the one song that should have been replaced was Welcome to the Jungle when Take On Me played. Because Holding Out for a Hero was good to hear in the moment, but it's only useful in Shrek 2. I mean, it's useful, memorable from Shrek 2. You have Take On Me in there. What else was there? No Sleep Till Brooklyn, and then Mr. Blue Sky at the end. I like those songs because the movie takes place in Brooklyn, so No Sleep Till Brooklyn was good. But then you got Take On Me, and I'm like, when the Donkey Kongs arrive, I'm like, shouldn't it have been Welcome to the Jungle? But I think then my one friend said it's a little bit explicit. I'm like, okay, makes sense. So Take On Me might have fit the vibe perfectly. All right. By the way, I'm wearing my Pac-Man shirt, the next best thing I had, and my video game controller socks I wore to the movie. So pretty cool stuff there. Just a little bit of a side note. Yeah, next best thing I had for my Mario. I don't have a Mario shirt, but I also, going on, there's a lot of nostalgia here from playing the game with references, and the animation is gorgeous because since Illumination did it. I don't think this movie would have worked if it was DreamWorks or Disney. How would they have done it? I think Illumination was the right studio. The animation is gorgeous. My friend was saying throughout the movie, I'm like, man, this is just a gorgeous movie. I'm like, I know. It is. The trailers made it look perfect, and the movie is perfect on that note. Like, just all from the flower effects to the blocks to the character designs. And speaking of character designs, and going in there, the animation is beautiful. But now I want to go into the characters, because the characters, they even mentioned in this film, when you see in the trailer like that the rap, the classic commercial for Mario and Luigi, the Mario Brothers rap. We're the Mario Brothers and implements our game. You know that thing. That commercial is in the movie. And after that, Mario's like, are the accents too much? And Luigi's like, that was perfect, it's cinema. And then there's this guy, the original Mario voice actor, is like, no, it's perfect. Wahoo! You see him, and he's the original voice of Mario from the one video game. I forget which one. I don't know if it's 1 or if it's like Super Mario World or Land or 3D, I don't know what it is. But you see him, and then Mario or Chris Pratt goes, okay, I'll trust you. And then you just hear him talking in their real voices. Charlie Day is Luigi's great. Toad is Keegan Michael Key as Toad is great. Jack Black as Bowser steals the show. Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach. I think all these people are perfect in their roles. Like, you have Toad, Keegan Michael Key as Toad. Good voice work. I love the way he voiced Toad. You got Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach. I think they picked the right female voice. I mean, she's so hot over the internet right now that I think that they were like, who could we get to play Peach? You know, pick her. We got her. She's golden in that role. Jack Black's golden as Bowser. Even singing the Peaches song is golden. Charlie Day is Luigi. You just see other these random voices. Chris Pratt as Mario. Makes sense, even though he's not fully Italian, it makes sense why they chose him, and then the dialogue, or like the direction they went with the accent. Even in the plumbing commercial, he's a little bit Italian there for that commercial, and then they go backwards, or then they scale back for like a Brooklyn type accent. Perfect. And then you have Seth Rogen in there as Donkey Kong. Now, this is my one thought coming out of the movie, discussing it with my friends. We're like, wait a minute. Okay, Seth Rogen as an actor, I like him. His laugh is a little bit funny, which my friend was like, I'm kind of doing the Seth Rogen laugh, right? He was kind of doing it. And I'm like, it's funny. I like his laugh, but was his voice really necessary? Like, did it really sound like Donkey Kong? It just sounded like Seth Rogen. And I'm not saying that as a complaint to this film, but I don't know if they need to recast later. Like, it feels like if they're going to use him down the line, I don't know. It's fine. It feels like I'm looking at Seth Rogen, not Donkey Kong, and I was looking at Donkey Kong, but I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening? Anyway, just a little bit of a nitpick, but it's fine. The story is very thin. Mainly, there's like a 20-minute thing in the beginning where, like, by the way, I'm not, like I said, this is not Shakespeare, but you get 20 minutes in the beginning. This film is not quite what I thought, and it's not a bad movie. I would watch this film over. The first Despicable Me is fine. I just don't watch it a lot. But this one is this is probably in my top 20, maybe top 10 animated films. Like, it's that, I enjoyed it that much. So, I'll have to rank, like, make like a top 10 or top 20 animated films list at some point down the line, because that's just something I've been wanting to do. But the story is so thin, but it's really good. At the first 20 minutes, there's like this mainland scene you see of the Mario Brothers getting their first call, kind of like when they get, we got one, kind of like the Ghostbusters did. And then there's like this montage, not a montage, like this sequence where they go to fix their first sink, their first house call dripping sink, and this dog, Luigi breaks a dog's bone, and then it just goes awry, and then the whole house is flooded, and then, or not the whole house, but this bathroom's flooded, and then the dog tries to attack them. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, is my friend, like, as I'm sitting next to my friends, okay, either my friend is enjoying this, my one friend sitting next to me, my best friend was like, either we're enjoying this, or this is going terribly wrong. Like, the movie, the movie's gone off track already. And then after that scene happens, like, they fix the house, like, it goes into the next scene, and then there's Brooklyn's flooded. They're like, save Brooklyn. Who can save Brooklyn? And they're like, the Mario Brothers can. And then all of a sudden you see them going into the sewer, into the portal pipe, into the green pipe. And then the movie jumps into high gear into the Mushroom Kingdom. And I'm like, okay, now we're here. Now we're where we need to be for the Mario movie. And then we get Princess Peach. Then we get the backstory. Because I'm like, okay, is this just going to be like the whole movie? I'm like, when are we going to pick it up here? I'm like, finally. And then we pick it up into high gear with Mario and the Mushroom Kingdom, meaning Toad, going to Princess Peach, and Luigi on the way in the portal pipe. And is the portal pipe the pipe? I don't know what these things are called. I should know my Mario lore, because I played Mario Kart for a long time, and Mario Brothers. The warp pipe. It just came into my head. The warp pipe. Green warp pipe. And Mario and Luigi get separated. Now, people are complaining because the Mario Brothers are separated in this film, but I think that there's definitely going to be a sequel. And I'll talk about that later. But that Mario and Luigi get separated, and then Princess Peach, Mario teams up with Toad, goes to see the Princess Peach, and they're like, he trains with Peach, and which I love the montage with you holding out for a hero, because it feels like they took a bit of time to train, as opposed to, like, they felt like it was drawn out. Even though it felt like 2 minutes, it felt like a little bit of time, as opposed to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where Cassie Lang had like 0 lessons with her dad to train. That's just a little bit of a side note and a little bit of correlation there, but I just felt like I had to throw that out there. But this moment feels like that Peach was actually having him train for a little bit of time. Once they're done training, then they go out and set, because then you see Luigi in the Badlands with some dry bones and some Shy Guys, and it's really awesome. I love that scene. And then you get, you see Peach, or Bowser, and he's like, I want to marry Princess Peach, and then later, or you see the Ice Penguins in the beginning, by the way, the penguins from the Ice Kingdom, by the way, too, don't forget about that. Thought that was neat. There's so many references, by the way, with the little orange things that go round and round. There's so many references with the music and like Easter eggs here and there with blocks and the pipes and coins and like things like the antique shop when they're going through the Mushroom Kingdom and the realms. So that's pretty cool. But again, in the Badlands, like it's like Luigi's Mansion almost. But then when they go to Princess Peach is like, we got to go recruit Donkey Kongs, and then there's a whole Super Smash Brothers brawl scene, sort of. It's they're in the Donkey Kong Kingdom and they have to fight. Seth Rogen fights, and there's a Mario Kart scene, which is awesome. I love the Mario Karts because they're like, let's use the carts. So they get out the carts in the Donkey Kong land. Yeah, and then when you see the Donkey Kongs, they're kind of, when Funky Kong comes in, you see them riding in on a cart and everything, which is a Take on Me part of the movie. So, and then after that, they're like, Princess Peach meets up. They get kidnapped on Rainbow Road, and Bowser's like, Princess Peach, will you marry me? And she's like, no. And then she changes her mind, like, wait, yes. And then they go have a wedding. At the wedding, there is a big King Babam and King Boo. Really cool to see them in this movie, but after that, they have the final battle, and there's a big Bullet Bill. Is it Bullet Bill? I think it is. And it goes in the warp pipe. And then all of a sudden it gets blown up, and they go to Brooklyn and have a big major fight in Brooklyn. I'm not going to reveal so much there, but Bowser is defeated. They get the star that Bowser has, and go do and punch Bowser. They defeat Bowser with that. And I'm not going to share every little detail, but they defeat Bowser with the superstar. The music is awesome. And then their parents, who was like, when Seth Rogen actually said to Mario, Donkey Kong says to Mario, my dad thinks I'm a failure. Mario's like, yeah, my dad thinks I'm a failure too, that they say in the beginning. It's very awesome character dynamics with with Mario's family, as opposed to the old original one that did terribly. But Mario, and then the parents come back at the end and say, we love you, son. It was like, good job, Mario, you're amazing. And then Spike at the beginning, when you see Spike at the diner, and he's like, look, it's the Super Mario Brothers, not in the beginning it says it's the stupid Mario Brothers, excuse me. But at the end he's like, it's the Super Mario Brothers, and then you see Mr. Blue Sky playing, and the whole theme ends, and then the end credits happen. Now, in the mid-credit scene, it's the Peaches song continues, and the end credit scene is a scene where you see an egg and it hatches, and then it cuts to black and goes, Yoshi, Yoshi. You see a bunch of Yoshis in the film, but they don't actually have Yoshi, like ride Yoshis or anything. So that must be what the second film entails, which I'm excited for the future of what the Super Mario Brothers is. If there is a sequel, I hope there's a sequel. My only reason for this, I want to make this very clear. The ending is great. I love the end credit scenes. I love everything. Well, we didn't stick around for the end credit scene because my friend had to leave, and I told him what it was because I saw it on YouTube. So I was like, that's fine. We didn't stay for it because I knew what it was. I hope that there's a sequel to this. I kind of messed up to my friends. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was Nintendo did more of this stuff with Illumination? If they did a Zelda movie? And they're like, no. I said, okay, it could work as an anime. Yeah, it could work as an anime, but here's my thought. I kind of brain farted on this note. And then I said, but they're gonna make a Super Smash Brothers movie. I have the Marvel mindset. They said I had the Marvel mindset. I didn't quite mean it literally. I said they could make it. Here's my thought. If this movie does good, they're like, okay, let's make a sequel. The Rotten Tomato score, I don't believe it, but you don't need to factor that in. You need to factor it into the box office. If they make a good amount of money based of kids seeing this movie, lots of good things about it, they'll make a sequel. Based off the end credit scene, they can do stuff with Yoshi, other characters, Wario, Waluigi. I would like to see that. They didn't have that in this movie. It didn't make it bad just because those characters were in it. I'd like to see it. I'm not saying I have the Marvel mindset. I just want to see a sequel to this movie. I'm not saying I need a Super Smash Brothers movie. I like the Sonic movies. We're getting a third Sonic movie. This movie, even though after the first Sonic I wasn't like, yeah, give me a second one right now, money, money, money. But once we got a second one, I really enjoyed the second one. My friends kind of did too. And it's the same thing with this movie. If they can make good money from it, they'll make a sequel and I'll go see it. I'm not saying that they're going to lead up to a Super Smash Brothers, but if they do, and I'll go watch that as well. But that's how I feel. At the end of the day, I have to agree with my friend. I think Well, he gave John Wick a 9 out of 10. I'm sorry, I was trying to think if he said that to this movie. I feel like giving this a 9 out of 10. Because I'm not trying to be biased, because I'm like, I'm so biased towards things. I'm biased towards Disney. But at this point, I have so many thoughts towards Star Wars that I'm like, I'm giving so many things. Like Bad Batch 2 was, or Bad Batch Season 2 was, Mandalorian Season 2 is kind of getting, or Season 3 is kind of, it's picking up, but the whole season overall was kind of, so I'm kind of on a phase of Disney where I'm just kind of like, like, I like Quantumania, but that's only because of the genre it was in. So I gave it a thumbs up, but as a hyped Marvel film, I'm not like, oh my god, yeah. I'm like, okay, it was good, but it wasn't No Way Home or Shang-Chi quality. That's what I'm talking about, Quantumania wise. Anyway, Mario movie was 9 out of 10. For my level of enjoyment. You might have hated it. You might have been like, oh, it was okay. It was cute for a kid's movie. Here's what I'm going to say, actually, to you. When I watched Space Jam: A New Legacy back in the COVID days, was it 2021 or 2020? It was 2021. When Space Jam: A New Legacy came out, when it was day and day on HBO Max, like, nobody watched it but myself, probably. There were kids that watched it. But it was, when I watched it, I was like, I'm viewing this in the eyes of a kid. This movie is similar, but much different, because there's a wide range of people that have played Mario throughout generations. But the critics were so cynical towards this movie, like, this isn't Mario! They ruined Mario! And I was like, wait a minute, but it's a kid's movie. Why are you being so harsh on it? So, I try to look at it a little bit differently. I think my friends kind of agree with that. Even though it's Illumination, people are so hard on it. I don't get why people are so hard on it. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm a big Mario fan. I played Mario Karts. I played the iTunes. I played Mario Kart for years. Super Mario Brothers on the Wii. Both those games. I've seen people play it online, like YouTubers that watch on videos, on live streams. It's great. Mario is great. Every form of Mario is great, whether you like it or not. Whatever version of you like. I hope you like this movie. I did. I give it a 9 out of 10. Go watch this film. I saw it the second weekend it came out. Maybe you have already seen it earlier and you loved it. Maybe you didn't like it. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. Go check this one out in theaters. I can't wait for it on streaming. I'll just keep watching this one. 2023 is the year of movies and TV. Some kind of TV. Mandalorian? I'm sorry. I apologize. But anyway, movies, this year, year of 2023 is the year of movies and such. I'm so excited for it. Anyway, it's here. It's already happening. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow the... I can't even speak anymore. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel family if you'd like to continue listening about movies and TV and vlogging, whatever I do here on the channel. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me at Boba Fett Today Master. Link is down below. And don't forget to click the card up there as well for our vlog if you already watched it. Thanks so much. And if not, please do that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. And as always, don't forget to keep calm, play Lego. Peace out. Bye, everyone.